Graniola. This is the Graniola channel, and I'd like to tell you a folk tale. In 1936, 15 million copies of Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People were sold. At that moment, describing how people could ingratiate themselves socially seemed like a really radical idea. And yet, folktales have been doing just that for centuries. Let the Hoe Do the Work give some tips on how to get along with family and friends. It's not like this anymore, but hundreds of years ago, people didn't have to dig the rows to plant their plants. Each morning, the women would take their hoes out to the garden and place them where they wanted a trench to be dug. In the evening, after this had been done, they would collect their tools, take them home, and then return the next morning. In the place where this always happened, there was a young man who decided to marry a woman from another tribe. A marriage is a social act, and each partner needs to adapt to the family and the neighbors that he'll be spending his life with. The young woman was a capable and conscientious person. When she got to her new home, she wanted to show the others what a hard worker she was. During the first week, she easily finished the task that she had. She happily filled a jug with water several times without spilling a drop and taking it up to the house. She did the laundry, she milled the millet, and each day she did as the other women did and left her hoe next to the place where they would be planting vegetables. Her neighbors and her extended family were very impressed with her, and they let her know it. Often, when you realize that those around you have a favorable opinion of what you're doing, it makes you want to try even harder. This was the case for the young woman. On the first day of her second week in the new village, she decided that instead of just leaving her hoe on the ground, she would dig some trenches herself. She was certain that she could do a better and faster job this way. The work itself enervated her, and she couldn't keep a smile off of her face as she imagined how proud her husband would be of her. Of course, everyone in the village knew exactly what she was doing, but they all had a different opinion of her actions than she herself did. When she got home that evening, she could see that her husband was both disappointed and angry. After she had described her day to him, he shook his head and asked her how she could have been so ungrateful to the gods that had for centuries helped them with their farming, and added that it was unimaginable to him that any person could be so arrogant as to flaunt the respected traditions that his people had followed for centuries before either of them had been born. He gruffly told her to go to bed and to not leave the house on the next day. What happened after that was exactly what he and the other villagers had anticipated. They laid their hoes down in the morning and came back for them at nighttime, but no digging at all had been done during that day, nor would it ever happen again as it had in the past. Although the young woman could not have known this, when she heard the citizens screaming and yelling threats and understood that they were coming closer, she snuck out of the house and ran away into the darkness. Up until today, the villagers, while they're working in the dirt, complain about that young bride, and all young men of that tribe, before they propose marriage, watch young ladies carefully in order to make certain that they'll be able to handle a hoe under the hot sun. This tale is told by the Bantu people, many of whom live in the Congo or the DRC, Democratic Republic of the Congo.